So today we're going to learn how to use something called dividers. Okay, this looks a lot like a compass, only it doesn't have the wheel and it doesn't have any graphite. Your dividers would have two very sharp points on it, and they should be equal length. Okay, so you should be able to see that they're starting and stopping at the same point. What this tool is used for is transferring measurements from one location to another. And that way we don't have to take out our ruler and measure and then put it on the other side. And it's really good for things like mirror images. Okay, so I taped down this paper and I made sure that my vertical line was vertical and my horizontal line was horizontal. Okay, and the one below it, with all the rounded edges, you might have to reset your tape and move it around a little bit so that it works. But for some reason it didn't photocopy well. But the way that these dividers should work, they should be very stiff when you open and close the legs on them. And they do have a little bit of a springiness to them. So when you're taking a measurement, it's good to like open and close it and then let go for a second and then double check your measurement. So, and you're going to be creating tiny little pinholes in this to make sure that we're transferring the measurement correctly. So the first thing that I did was when I taped my paper down, you can see I have all these construction lines, and I just transferred all of these points of height information from the left side to the right. Okay, this is going to get our distance from the center line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up, and I also created a vertical line. I just kind of closed in with a construction weight line, this center line, so I can put the tip right on the very center. And then I'm going to close the legs a little bit, and notice I keep letting go because the first time it kind of bounced back in. And so now I'm going to press down, and it's right at the distance that I want. So now I'm going to leave that center leg punctured in. I'm just going to twirl it, and I'm going to press down. Just a tiny, tiny pinhole. Don't tear your paper. But because I have several measurements along this section, I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. Again, I'm not puncturing down until I double check that it's right on the point. Press down. Press down. And then I do it again. And again. Okay, so I have these tiny little pinpricks showing where my measurements are going to be. I did miss one. I skipped this one right here. And I keep seeing that when I open and close this, the leg springs a little bit. So now that the tip is right where I want it to be, I'm going to press, and I'm going to press. Okay. So once you have those measurements transferred, and I darken this in a little bit at a time just because I want to see what I've done, and I don't want to lose sight of which holes are for which measurements. Okay. Okay, so that's this line. That's this line. And then for some of them, where they connect at the center line, I just go ahead. Why do I always catch on tape? And transfer that down. Okay, so that's the entire magic of the dividers. You're just transferring it from one location to another. Make sure you have two reference lines. When we come to the bottom half of this assignment, what you're going to be locating are the center points, okay, for each of the arcs and the circles. So that's going to be your main thing. And then you'll use your compass and set your compass dimension there. So hopefully this helped. And this assignment is called Mirror Images, and I wish you the best of luck, and again, be sure that you double check to make sure your dividers are nice and stiff, that they don't have a limp leg. If they do, tighten up one of those screws on the back. Okay, and good luck.